Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, gratefully recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means share it with anybody you think might get something out of it. Other than that, happy Sunday, everybody. How you all doing? I had a good day, boys and girls. I had a very good day. I slept in because I've been extremely exhausted and busy lately. Got up a little bit. I got up at about 8 o'clock. Talked to my friend Doug. I've been asked to run his office for the week because the secretary's on vacation or the office manager's on vacation, so added duty. A lot of added duty lately. I'm getting better dealing with it. But when I went to the gym this morning, I was going through my workout. Wasn't feeling overwhelmingly good, but I've gotten to the point where I get to my max consistently. And as I was bench pressing 395 pounds, realizing that I'm only 5 pounds away from 400-pound bench press. So I'm like, screw it. I went and found a couple of 2.5 pound weights, so I could put another 5 pounds on the bar, and I managed to get 400 pounds on the bench press for 2 reps. I was so proud of myself. I really was. I'm like, it's awesome, right? It's really cool. It's like consistency. This is the longest I've ever continuously gone to the gym and pushed myself to get stronger and just more comfortable and just confident that I could do these things. So I pushed myself to do it, and I'm able to do it. Felt great. Now, I was looking for, I wanted obviously a day off, and in keeping with tradition, I've been talking about it a lot lately. Sure enough, I wasn't halfway through the gym when my friend Doug's dad, Ed, my friend Ed, Doug's dad, called and said they had an issue with the hot water at his building, and I'm like, oh, sounds like a water heater. If I gotta do some Sunday work, and I was planning on going over and helping him with some other stuff today anyway. But I'm like, you know what, this is an emergency. So I ended up having to skip church. Went, sure enough, I get to the building, and he's got a huge 75-gallon power vented water heater. They're incredibly expensive, but I noticed, and the thing was just dumping water. And I looked at it, I'm like, it's not that old. And I checked the date on it, and it's a 10-year warranty. The tank is only 3 years old, so I'm like, well, let's check it out. And sure enough, it was just a valve that was bad inside of it. And I wasn't gonna let them not have water and let it continue to run. So I went and I got the replacement valve. And instead of just, a lot of people would have went in and charged the guy, 3-4 grand to replace it and left him with no hot water for the day. Instead, I went and I found the valve, and for $700, I fixed the water heater, and it was almost all labor, right? And then on top of that, when I was done with that, I went and had breakfast, and I went and got a computer for him because he needs a computer for his MyChart and all his life alert. The guy's 93. All his life alert stuff came in the mail, so I stopped and I set up all his life alert stuff, got him all hooked up, got him comfortable with using it, got it all checked out with the company. I got him set up on his laptop, and it felt really good. Like, and Ed was trying to pay me for it. I was leaving. He's like, oh, who's gonna pay you for this? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's between me and Doug. We got this. Oh no, let me reimburse you. Let me reimburse you. And I bought him the laptop. Doug will pay me back for the laptop. I'm like, Ed, no, it's okay. Like, you just paid me a bunch to work in the building this morning. You're good. Like, I don't mind. I enjoy Ed. Ed's a great guy. Like, he's one of my biggest supporters. He's a good dude. But you know what? I can handle a lot of responsibility today. I can handle the fact that, yes, just because it's Sunday, people are still gonna call. Emergencies are still gonna come in. I've come to accept that I need to start planning weekends away so that I do have some time off. Because as long as I'm here and answering the phone, work's gonna keep coming in, and I pick and choose and I answer the calls that I'm contracted to answer, and I make incredible money doing it. Like, there's no reason to go having an anxiety attack, and that's the thing. I always would. Like, I'd get up and I get so frustrated. Oh, why? When I'm trying to build a business, I want to work. Like, yeah, I want time off, but like it's gonna come, and it's gonna force me to start treating myself better and actually going away so I can get away. Like, there's no reason to feel anxiety about it. Some stuff I can handle, some stuff I can't. When I can't, pass it off to somebody else, to tell somebody I'm not available. It's as simple as that. I just gotta find my level that I can take and what I can't take, and without letting it be an anxiety attack. Simple as that. An anxiety attack is the title of the Just for Today NA reading, just in case you hadn't figured that out yet. And we're gonna go with that. So, anxiety attack? Question mark. The power that brought us to this program is still with us and will continue to guide us if we allow it. Have you ever had a panic attack? Everywhere we turn, life's demands overwhelm us. We're paralyzed and we don't know what to do about it. So how do we break an anxiety attack? Well, first we stop. Most important, stop the momentum. We stop for a moment to let things settle. Then we take a spot inventory of the things that are bothering us. We examine each item, asking ourselves the question, how important is this really? In most cases, we find that most of our fears and concerns do not need our immediate attention. We can put those aside and focus on the issues that really need to be resolved right away. Then we stop again and we ask ourselves, who's really in control here anyway? Am I taking my will? Well, this helps remind us that our higher power is in control. We seek our higher power's will for us, our higher power's will for the situation, whatever it is. We can do this in any number of ways. I'm sorry, who has control anyway? This helps remind us that our higher power is in control. We seek our higher power's will for the situation, whatever it is. We can do this in any number of ways, through prayer, talks with professionals, therapists, etc., family, our sponsor, or recovering friends, or by attending a meeting and sharing, asking others for their experience. When our higher power's will becomes clear, we then pray for the ability to carry it out. Then we take action. Anxiety attacks need not paralyze us. We can utilize the resources we have in recovery to deal with anything that comes our way. And the affirmation is just for today, my higher power has not brought me all this way in recovery to abandon me. When anxiety strikes, I will take specific steps to seek God's continuing care and guidance. And again, I see the progression of this all the time. I get so mad when people call and well, don't like, people get themselves in a jam and they know I'm kind of known as Mr. Fix-It. I have mechanical abilities. I'm a plumber. I do heating work. I do electrician. I do heat. I siding, windows, flooring, tile. Like, I wear a lot of hats and I'm capable of a lot of things. So when people, that know me get in the jam, the first thing they want to do is call me, because who wants to, call a professional and, another company and get on a schedule, pay full price. And so now I have to understand that. I pick and choose who calls. Most of them now have to understand I have a business to run. So now I'm the professional you're calling. You're not calling just because you know me. You can't call me, unless you're family, a good friend in recovery, that obviously, sure, no problem. But the average person that I know through business can't just call me on Sunday morning and expect me to run to their house and not write them a service call bill. Like, oh, it's Sunday though. I thought you were coming over to hang out with me and fix a broken pipe? No, like, you're calling me for an emergency. You're going to pay for it. That takes a lot of the anxiety off me. And then I understand from human nature that people are going to want to get a break. I don't mind giving breaks, anything like that, guys. Don't get me wrong. But you got to understand, I have learned that I need to put my needs first. In the beginning, it was very uncomfortable, and I had to learn to say no. And I did, and I took a lot of time to rest, and I was very careful about balancing work and play life, and I was trying to hold back and not work more than 40 hours. I used to talk about in the video all the time. I still don't work a whole lot more than that, so what I've done is I've challenged myself to be as efficient, as capable, as ready as far as stock and tools and information gathering from customers so that I can streamline processes. And as a matter of fact, Linda, the manager of the building where the water leak was this morning, I called her to let her know that the hot water was back on, even though she was at home, but I knew she wanted to know, so she could let the tenants know. And she's like, Patrick, you're wonderful. People love you. Do you understand how many calls I get? And again, she refers me to a lot of people. Doug, same thing with all his tenants. Like, we get so many calls every time you go take care of somebody. You're the only person that people call to tell us how much they love you and how great work you do. And guys, it's because I bring my best self to bear, and I don't let things like anxiety get to me. And again, not saying it doesn't happen. I still have my moments where people just boom, boom, boom. But again, I've just come to the point where I answer the calls in priority. As simple as that. And as a matter of fact, somebody I was talking about in the video yesterday texted me again, finally texted me today, asking me why I haven't responded to his messages. And I'm like, Paul, what messages? I'm like, I haven't had time to answer I checked my voicemail in a month. Oh, I've been asking about some repair stuff. I said, oh, I know you have. I said, but Paul, I haven't had a day off in 2026 yet. So you're asking me for special favor stuff. I'm running my business. My business has been slammed. We've had storms. We've had 2 blizzards. Like, I haven't had time. And like, I'm not, upset with you. I'm not trying to put you off. But dude, I like when I have a minute to get caught up for myself, then I'll return calls and stuff that people want me to do favors for them. And he's like, yeah, fair enough. Oh, hey, if you need a helper, let me know. I'm slow. I'm like, boom, not the end of the world. Like, where in the past I'd have all this anxiety and ditch and dodge and not afraid to just tell people, hey, I'm busy. I can only do so much. And that's where all my anxiety would, well, in recovery, the anxiety that I felt. In addiction, forget it. Life was anxiety because I was lying to everybody, cheating everybody, stealing from people, stealing from myself, lying to my wife, living one life with this person, being one life with this person. Like, of course, there's going to be anxiety attacks. There was days I'd have so much panic if I wasn't medicated with drugs. I wouldn't want to leave the house for fear of, whatever nonsense I was pulling. None of that applies. So I'm able to let anxiety, and then again, when I start to get overwhelmed, whether it's because of traffic or it's always 99% of the time, it's because I've taken on too much. I stop and I just assess the situation, and I know. And here's the thing, guys: most of the reason I have very low anxiety today is because I found surrender. I found the power of surrender. You hear me say this constantly, but it's not something I say; it's something I do. I fully trust, and this is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. Trust that God has your back, your higher power has your back, and will not give you more than you can handle so long as you continue to make good decisions. And if you're doing so, and you're paying attention and putting intention into everything you do, you're going to know when you just get tired. And you know what? If you get tired, you don't have to come up with an excuse to rest. Being tired is the excuse to rest. And I do so. Maybe not as much as I should. I don't have much of a social life. That's okay. I'm happy. I'm somebody that enjoys the work that I do. I enjoy building my business, and I see the results of it constantly. I see the opportunities that I'm manifesting in my life. Like when Doug called me last week and said, "Hey, I found a two family house in Medford. We might be able to turn into 3 condos. Are you interested in buying half of the condo with me, half of the property with me?" And so, well, yeah, what are we talking? And it was basically, I won't throw figures out. Anyway, I was there. Like, I can. Like, that's a miracle. It's amazing. I'm somebody that would, I was always watching my bank account to see if I had $20 in it for cigarettes. Now I got 6 figures. Like, it's amazing. In 1 year recovery. Because I follow this program and I understand that I have a marketable set of skills and I go out and market them. And that's the other thing, guys. It hasn't been about how quickly I can get dollars. My focus has been on being the best person I can, doing the best work I can, not getting called back, getting things done in an efficient manner. Now, I've come to be so efficient that sometimes I end up undercharging because I'm in and out of there quickly, but it's okay because I get that much more work done in a day, and that has been the most amazing way to build my business because I come in with these new customers and I blow people's minds with how quickly and efficiently I'm able to get things done and how well and how professionally I do the job. I make sure I don't cut corners, but I don't waste steps either. There's a fine line there, but I'm finding it because I live rooted in prayer. I, 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 I stay in conscious contact with my higher power. I pray throughout the day. I pray in the morning. I pray at night. And then I take action that is aligned with the things I speak of in prayer. And when you start to have an imbalance between those two, things are going to go wrong. But I'm riding this wave of momentum carrying me forward right now. And again, I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm awesome. But no, I've found my niche. I've found my flow state. And every one of us has this. But it comes after trial and error. And it comes after failure and picking yourself back up and trying again. It's beautiful now that I'm starting to put some time together because I'm looking at the differences. In February, in the beginning of March of last year, I was clean, but I was just starting to figure things out, and I was starting to see a little light of hope as far as putting a life together. But I still didn't have a lot of answers, but I was taking leaps of blind faith at every turn. Registering, I don't think it's even been a year. I haven't even had the business registered for a year, but by this point, I quit my job. I was starting to put side work together. Like, beginning again. I had my old boss hounding me constantly, but I was showing God that I was paying attention, because every time I went to do something, I would stop and think about it. Well, does this give me an ick feeling? Is this something dragging me towards my old life? Or am I getting anxiety because this is a brand new leap in the right direction, providing everything works out? And everything has worked out so much better. The smartest thing I did was understand that I sell myself short, that I don't come up with good ideas when I take my free will. So, particularly in this time last year, I sought deeply by stopping and assessing, literally playing the tape through before I took any action. Okay, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I do this, what's going to happen? A prime example I was thinking about for some reason randomly today was when it was just about a year ago now that my friend, a former customer, had reached out and said, "Hey, we had paid you to move that oil for us. Is there any way you could give us our money back? We need oil." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'd gone into rehab and I never did the job." And I'm like, and it was literally, I think I owed them like $250, and I had like $400 to my name. And I'm like, absolutely, I will be there tomorrow morning. Because I was grateful that they didn't call the police and say I stole the money or something. I was terrified of that. It was like the last thing hanging over my head, or the most direct thing hanging over my head. So the next morning, the landlord calls me and says, "Hey, I hear you're going to drop the money off the girls." I said, "Yes, I'm going to go right after church." He goes, "Well, hey, the oil's still there. If you want to save yourself the money, I still need the oil moved." So I called the girls and said, "Hey, Charlie says the oil's still there, and you need oil. Would come right now? I have your money in my pocket, or I go start moving your oil." And they're like, "Oh, if you could do the oil, it'd be great." Guys, I had underbid that job because I wanted money for drugs and I was broke. I should have charged $800 for it minimum. I charged $250, and then I got there and Charlie was like, "Hey, there's a whole nother tank." And I said, "You know what? I left him hanging. So I did double the work for the same $250 that they had already paid me months before. I made amends. And I did so in blind faith. Now, I didn't hear from Charlie for about 4 or 5 months after that. But I didn't do it to gain his work again. Did it to cover my ass and make right a wrong. One that was bothering me when it came up in conversation. Not that it did often, but every so often, like, "Oh shit, that's right, that's still out there. I need to do something about this." And then lo and behold, by fall, Charlie's calling me and made me his property manager, his plumber, his heating technician, his go-to guy for every call. And I've made thousands and thousands of dollars, and I continue to make it. But I took that blind leap of faith. I didn't duck the phone call. I didn't dodge the responsibility. I didn't make excuses. I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry." And I told him I was in the hospital. I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I was going through a thing. I had to go put myself in the hospital. I didn't do this. No, we understand." And then I get over there and they're like, "Wow, you look really good. You look like the same person." Like I was rewarded for my efforts for doing the right thing. And that's what I found day in and day out. So I challenge myself, and again, this is why this YouTube channel, and I say this as an example, because what I'm saying, find something in your life that you can do that's going to hold yourself accountable. This channel has held me accountable in ways I never dreamed possible, and because I've answered the call and I've held myself accountable, and I've applied these lessons to my life in every area I could at every opportunity to the best of my ability. I'm not perfect, but I'm surprising myself at what a good person I can be. And as I do so, I start caring more. Like the layers of numbness and just despair go so much deeper than I ever thought they did. And as they peel back, I find new layers of beauty and love and desire and wants and confidence and abilities coming to the surface because I'm continuing to push myself and go further every day. Guys, it's beautiful. I'm so bought in. Everybody that gets to know me can't believe how happy I am, how content I am. And again, it doesn't mean life isn't hard, but I'm comparing all that misery and despair I walked for 40 years, constantly duck and look over my shoulder, to this new territory of running a business and having resources and having a future and about to be somebody. I'm already somebody that people respect and look up to. I'm just getting started. And the funny thing is, I said that earlier today, and I laughed. I said, "What's funny?" I said, I find myself saying that, and I realize I've been saying that from the day I got out of recovery, and that makes me proud because that just means I haven't plateaued, and I'm still challenging myself, getting into bigger and bigger territory. Anybody can, guys. You got to decide what's important. For me, I've made a show of showing what's possible in recovery, using myself as an example, showing my higher power that I understand He was always there, always kept me whole, and then I'm answering the call. I found my purpose. It's to help as many others in recovery, and to live by example. And I hold my feet to the fire every day, but I give myself grace when I fall, when I slip, and when I'm tired, I rest. Guys, it's a beautiful recipe for success. Happy Sunday, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with me. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.